Everybody's asking my opinion about this Will Smith, Chris Rock fiasco. They want to know if do I think it's real or fake? Well, again, I think it's real, or at least he seemed real. Of course, he is a Oscar-winning actor, I believe. At least nominated for sure. So Will Smith is a great actor. And I love Will Smith. I love his characters. I like his personality. I listen to a lot of his motivational. Dude, he's a wise individual. I think he snapped, he broke down, but he crossed the line. End of story. On the other hand, I think Chris Rock handled it like a champ. Like an absolute champ. I'm not impressed with him snapping like that. I think, I hear all the, you got to protect your woman. You got to protect your woman. No, you don't. First of all, she wasn't in harm's way. You protect your woman if she's in harm's way. You protect her honor. You protect things like that. In most cases, 100% agree. Sometimes a fool needs to get smacked. However, that was a freaking paid gig. He said G.I. Jane. Her hair was cut short like G.I. Jane. There was nothing offensive about it. People say, well, Brad, she has alopecia. Well, dude, alopecia, that's like saying I have eczema, or jock itch. It's not that big of a deal, alopecia, okay? You lose parts of your hair. I know people have had it. Believe it or not, I had it. They said it was incurable, and it grew back. So it is curable, apparently, or it was for me. But alopecia is not like a life-threatening or a debilitating disease. And even if it were, again, distasteful, I agree. Distasteful joke, but at the end of the day, man, he's a paid comedian to host the Oscars. You don't get up on national television, walk across the stage and smack the guy, period. Violence is never the answer unless, of course, you are protecting somebody's physical, safety. I don't agree with Will Smith in any stretch of the imagination. There's a lot of big guys, alpha guys out there talking about, yeah, I smacked that fool too. I'd done more than that. Talk about my girl. Well, at the end of the day, guys, come on. In some cases, I understand, but I want to know where Will Smith learned to hit, because he didn't even knock him down or anything. So it might have been just a bitch slap, but it almost looked staged, the slap. But the comments afterwards, keep my wife's name out your effing mouth. And then Chris is like, I will, or I'm going to, or whatever. But Chris handled it awesome. Will crossed the line. That's what I believe. I don't think Will Smith should have done that. I don't think Will Smith should have snapped like that. That was him snapping. And I don't even understand, because when you look at him, he's laughing about the joke. And then maybe Jada said something to him or looked a certain way, and he just emotionally snapped. And it doesn't make sense to me, because a lot of people made fun of their infidelity, and he didn't do anything about that. And that's one thing that I would be very upset if publicly, that were exposed about my relationship and I chose to forgive her, and now everyone wants to make fun of me for that. But G.I. Jane, a short haircut, I'm gonna stand up and defend a short haircut joke. There's wigs. It ain't like she wasn't allowed to put on a wig. She chose to go shaved. And if she didn't choose it, Brad, it's not fair. She didn't choose to go shaved. Well, alopecia gets down to the freaking skin. So it looked like her hair was shaved. She could have put on a wig. She could have done a million things. It was a joke. But apparently there's a history between them, and not knowing the history, maybe there's an exception to the rule. But at the end of the day, man, violence ain't the answer. You shouldn't be touching anybody unless you're protecting someone's physical safety. Okay? Grow a sense of humor. Have some freaking manners. Have some etiquette. People go to jail for less than that. And there's people out there going, oh, Brad, you got to protect your girl's honor. Dude, if they stripped him of the Oscar, they threw his ass in jail, he's no longer allowed there. He assaulted somebody on national television. And he's lucky Chris handled it like a champ, decided not to press charges, and freaking basically forgave him. Well, that's cool. That's cool. I'm glad Chris did that. And again, I like Will Smith. I'm glad everything turned out okay. I saw an apology letter he sent out to the world, but you know that's just his PR people. At the end of the day, man, I feel bad for the guy. He snapped, but he crossed the line. End of story. He crossed the line. And he doesn't know how to hit very hard. Dude, it didn't even make him move barely. I just got smacked the shit out of by Will Smith. You know, he didn't even flinch. Like, dude. And it was kind of a weird looking. It was almost like he walked out and went like, I don't get it. Like, you're gonna walk all that way, smack the motherfucker right in his teeth, okay? Knock him down, okay? And by the way, you don't smack somebody where they go. If you're gonna open hand slap somebody, you hit them in the side of the head so fucking hard they still fall down. Okay? So that's why I think kind of maybe that was staged a little bit. But if it was a staged thing, he sold it at the end with "keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth." He looked pissed. But completely uncalled for, not cool whatsoever. Will Smith was out of line. I know I'm going to get 1,000 comments by all you badass alphas that are going to talk about how you need to protect your wife, and that's what you get when someone talks about your wife. But listen, you go around smacking people for just talking, that's how you end up in jail. That's how you end up freaking in a lawsuit for no reason. Guys, if your girl loves you, she wouldn't want you in trouble over a short haircut comment. Okay, there was no assault on her. I would say it needs to get physical when there is physical assaults taking place. There is some sort of, physical safety. You should protect your family. You should protect your girl. But when some paid comedian at a public event openly makes that joke wasn't even rude. He was saying that you have short hair. You chose short hair. If he'd have made fun of her dress, would he have got smacked? If he'd have made fun of her makeup, would he have got smacked? So basically, you're just going to smack people that talk about your wife? Well, then quite frankly, you shouldn't be at the event. You crossed the line, Will. I love you, buddy, but you crossed the line. That's just my take. Everyone has their own opinion, and everybody's welcome to their own opinion. But for the people asking me what my thought was, my thought is Will Smith should have sat there and laughed, and if Jada didn't like it, Jada should have got up and smacked him. But I don't even think Jada should have smacked him. I think Jada did what Will should have did. Shook her head and looked disgusted. End of story. But again, maybe Will snapped because he's heard so many jabs from her having the infidelity. He snapped. And it's like, enough's enough. Plus, it's Chris Rock. Like, if that was The Rock, I don't think he would have smacked him at all. Okay?
That's a good point.
Right? It was Chris Rock, not The Rock. If it was The Rock, he might have had a second thought, laughed it off, everything was okay. But because it's Chris Rock, not so big, And then again, also, like, who taught Chris Rock how to defend himself? He literally leaned out with his hands behind his back. And he still didn't even budge him. He just went like this. Whoa, whoa. He didn't even budge. Like, come on, Will. Open hand slap should knock a fool down.
I think he'd have learned in the movie Ali how to fight.
Anyway, I don't think it was cool. I don't think Will Smith or anybody else should get away with that. I think it should have cost him the Oscar. I think he should be held accountable for demonstrating such poor judgment. Although I do believe in forgiveness too, so I wouldn't care if he actually won the Oscar because I like Will Smith. And after all the good he's provided the world with his movies and his words and, all the good things about Will, I say we can forgive him. I don't think his career should be ruined. I've heard some people talk about he should be in jail, he should get his Oscar stripped. He should just, get this massive, penalty. I don't agree. I think he should be forgiven like he was, but I also think, it should be used as a lesson. Keep your hands to yourself. Okay? Don't resort to violence. Never should violence be the answer until there's physical harm or safety that you're doing. Like, stalking, crazy shit. I understand physical sometimes is required, but 99.9% of the time, keep your damn hands to yourself. And pick on somebody your own size. So there's my Chris Rock, Will Smith post.